Hi, CNT 120, Chapter 2 Lab. We completed the logical diagram in the first part. This part we're going to focus on creating our physical diagram, this right here. And again, think back to when we use in Packet Tracer, the logical and physical side. That's what we're basically creating. So I'm going to go back to my Google Drive and I'm going to create a new diagrams.net for my second diagram. So here's my Google Drive. I'll say new diagrams.net. This time I'll give it a new name, and I think we're using, let me get our format here, Chapter 2 Lab Diagram 2. So we'll do Chapter 2 Lab Diagram 2, and again I'm going to do Sum 21 since I'm doing one of these each semester. Alright, so we'll say create. Once this creates, I have my drawing palette here. This time around, we are going to create the physical rack drawing, if you will. So here, I'm going to look for these items. I'm going to start by looking for the numbered rack cabinet, if you will. So I'm going to search for numbered rack. Let's see what we come up with when we do search for numbered rack. There he is right there. I'm going to drop that on the screen. And this is the equipment rack I have in the closet that we had the routers and switches in. I'm going to make him larger so I have room to put things into him. And you'll notice the numbering. This is all the U's. If you remember reading in the chapter about racks and rack U's, this is showing you all the U's, all the units of space available to put equipment in. All right, so I have my numbered rack. I'm going to double click on him and I'll put the label down here, numbered rack cabinet kind of thing. And there we go. We see it showing up down there. Perfect. Next thing I need in here is I'm going to put some switches and some wire management panels in. Now, we'll try to find these. If we don't, we're going to get close. Okay? Do not panic if we don't find the exact one. So let's look for Cisco Catalyst. And what was the number I had there? Let's get the number. Cisco Catalyst 4948. So let's see if we get 4948. There we go. 4948. Here's the 10 gig right there. So we're just going to click that. We're going to drop them into the rack, and you notice it fills up basically one slot in there. So we're going to make him into that one slot. Good. Now I want to put the label on the side, so I'm going to double click on it, and you'll notice the label goes to the side, which is good. So I'll say Cisco Catalyst was at 4948 10 gig switch. Excellent. There's my first piece of equipment. The next thing I need is my horizontal cable duct, and I'm actually going to have a couple of those. So once I do one, I'll be able to copy paste that. So we'll do horizontal cable duct. And there he is right there. This is basically a panel of like little fingers that are there to hold patch cables so they don't droop down. For cable management. So I'll say horizontal cable duct. There we go. Oh my goodness. Look at my typing. There we go. Now I'm going to end up with a couple of those, so I'll be able to copy paste that. What's our next one? 4928 10 gig switch. Okay. So Cisco Catalyst 4928, I think it was. There it is. There's the 4928. And I'm just going to make sure that fills up that U right there. And I'm just going to be smart. Cisco Catalyst 4928. And this was another 10 gig switch if I remember correctly. Oh, having trouble typing the word switch today. There we go. So now I'm going to have another cable duct. So let's be smart. I'm going to highlight that, Control C, Control V. I'm going to take that one and slide them down and put it right underneath there. And again, I'll make sure it's 1U. Make sure it's 1U. Next thing on my line, I think, is a large patch panel. So I'm just going to do patch panel and see what we come up with. Looks like I get a couple options here. We're going to go for the big one, the 96 port. And drop them in there. There we go. Look at that. And we'll say 96 port patch panel. And I think after that we have another horizontal cable duct, so I'm going to put that in there. All right. What happened with you guy? There you go. Let's get you snapped in there. All right, there's my horizontal cable duct. Now I need a router and another horizontal cable duct. So Cisco 2901 a router. Cisco 2901 router. Looks like he's there right there. So let's put him in. Make sure he fills up that U. Put the label in. All right, now we need a horizontal cable duct. It looks like I had a stray paste down here, so I'm going to close that guy out, or exit him, I should say, cross him out, delete him. And now we need the ASA, so Cisco ASA. Cisco ASA. Let's see what we come up with. There he is. So Cisco ASA, I think it was 5509 or something. I think that's what his number was. Oh, 5585. That's it. 5585. And that's a security appliance, adaptive security appliance. Another horizontal cable duct, and then we're going to put kind of a generic server in. Horizontal cable duct. And this time I'm going to search for like rack server, something along that line, to see what we come up with. And I'm not too particular on what we put in here. We'll use this rather generic that's kind of looking like almost like a Dell server there, rack mount server kind of deal. Again, we'll make him take up about a U. So we're just going to put in here generically server, rack mount server kind of deal. And then what do we have down here? We have a APC Smart UPS. All right. So APC Smart UPS, uninterruptible power supply. And I think we have maybe like this unit here. And that usually takes up maybe 2 or 3 U till it goes in there. So I'll make him a little wider. So APC Smart UPS. There we go. So there, real quickly, is my rack drawing. Again, we're trying to get as close to these as we can. If we're off a little bit, not a big deal. Just get a good label in there. And this is trying to simulate, if you remember in your packet tracer when we went to the physical side and looked at the rack, this would be a drawing of showing what's in my rack. And we are kind of, I don't want to say we're putting random things in here, but we're putting a sampling of things in here that might be in an equipment rack to get an idea of how to do that. And this could communicate what's physically in your equipment closet. All right, when I'm done there, once I have everything in, make sure it's neat and have all your labels. We'll do export as JPEG again. And I'm going to download this. And then I will have that available to me to submit to D2L. There we are. There is my, there was my logical drawing from before. Here's my physical drawing I just did. This would be the second diagram I'm going to submit to my Dropbox on D2L for the Chapter 2 lab. And you will have done a logical diagram, like the logical part of Cisco Packet Tracer, and then a physical diagram, rack diagram, if you will, physical diagram, like you seeing in Cisco Packet Tracer when we click the physical tab. So there's the second diagram in our Chapter 2 lab.